Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Saturday. I don't know why I said it like that. Just so dramatic for really no apparent reason. Yeah, what was I going to talk about today? First thing, of course, D&D session number 1, like proper number 1 session, happened yesterday. Went pretty well. I always underestimate, I think, how long a battle takes. Because, I was thinking about the stuff I prepped. I was like, I'm not sure I have enough stuff. So, we just kept it going. But, it still filled up for 3 hours as expected. And, in fact, a bit less than necessarily what I thought. But anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:45 p.m. on Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. Not so that, like, my friends, like, made wrong decisions or something. I was just like, oh, I wonder if I prepared enough of that sort of thing. And, do I have, like, enough of these things? Do I know how the story's going to go? But really, as it's turning out, is basically knowing the story well was much better than having scenes necessarily prepared. Because it meant that me knowing the story well, like, even though there were things which were like, oh, I didn't expect them to do that, so I didn't have, like, a scene prepared, I still knew what to do. Like, literally immediately, the first thing, they might be watching this video, so you can now know that I was not actually prepared for you to do this, so I just improv'd it, but, they were just like, hey, can I go to a library and, like, try and research some more about that monster we saw? And I was like, oh, I didn't, like, think about that, or anything like that, so I was just, like, on the spot, just made up some stuff about the library. I don't even remember exactly what I said, but I made notes as I said it, so I was like, okay, I should make notes and make sure I remember this, because now it's part of the law. So there you go. I mean, that was all improv. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff I randomly improv. Like, again, like I didn't tell my friends this. They can discover it by themselves, I suppose, by watching the Animal Crossing video if they so desire. But there was a thing. Well, I did prepare a thing. Basically, like, a town was destroyed, and I prepared, like, a memorial speech by the mayor. Except for I didn't actually prepare the speech, because at the time when I was doing it, I was like, I'll do it as, like, a low priority. It's more important I get the other things prepared. And then, like, if it comes to it during speech, I'll just say, like, he says, like, a really moving speech about stuff. But in the moment, for some reason, my brain was like, I should at least, like, try to give a speech. So I like, improv that entire speech and the entire thing. Which, I think it was okay. I think it was a bit strange, because I did actually manage, because it's a thing. I know how the plot points are going to work out. I actually did manage to improv some, like, things weaved into it. Whether my friends picked up on it, whether I even remember what I put, because I don't even remember necessarily what I said, but it's the funniest part as well, because at one point I was just like, oh, like, how would they honor the dead, I suppose, in this kingdom? Because it was actually a question which came up in the other campaign. They were just like, oh, like, what are the ways that they honor the dead here, because they wanted to bury some people. And I was like, oh. So I just made something up. So then on the spot I was like, okay, what else would I do here? Like, this is a very sort of arts themed kingdom, etc, etc, so they'd probably, like, do something in memorialization for that. So I made up a poem. I mean, I gave myself some background, because I was like, I definitely can't, like, improvise a good poem. So I was like, oh, it was a poem written by a child from a village or something. But maybe there were some hints in there, who knows. I can't tell you what they were, because I didn't write down my poem, because, again, it was completely improvised. It was a very weird poem, I would say, but I probably should have said spoilers for the D&D campaign, in case I didn't want spoilers of that sort of thing. But this is, the Animal Crossing, like, the first few minutes is always now behind the scenes of a D&D campaign as it's going on, because I'm sure, you if you're not, like, one of my personal friends who is in this D&D campaign, you might have a curiosity of what sort of, like, weird stories might be going on. So there you go. Next time I think I would certainly at least try and write down, like, a basic poem to begin with, rather than just trying to improv a poem. It's pretty funny, though, to be perfectly honest. Even better, because I was watching my friends' reactions, and one of them was just like, what? When I was, like, saying the poem, that sort of thing. But don't you worry, because even though it was improv, it has meaning behind it all the same. I definitely should have wrote the poem down as I said it, but because I very much don't remember. I remember the things I said, which were possibly, wink wink, nudge nudge, meant to be indicative of something like that, I think. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember what I wanted to convey. Anyway, that's not the point. What I was going to talk about today is, like, you saw the news about, like, the Willy Wonka, like, experience thing which happened. Wild, isn't it? I actually genuinely thought it was a joke. Like, I saw it. It was a couple of days ago when I first saw it, and I guess it was a couple of days ago it happened. And of course I saw it on Reddit, because that's apparently where I get most of my, like, hot gossip. If you don't know, like, I think it was in Edinburgh or something. There was a Willy Wonka event eventually where, you know, it was just a website being like, whoa, pay £35 entry for like this magical world of Willy Wonka, you know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I would say it was meant to be like in respect to the Wonka movie, you know, with Timothy Chalamet or whatever, his starring role, which I don't know actually if that movie's any good or not. Like, I was watching a trailer and I was like, this has like real Wes Anderson vibes. I don't think he made I don't think Wes Anderson made it, unless he did. And I was like, but it's got that sort of vibe. I don't know how well reviewed it was, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Wonka. I'm gonna guess it got middling reviews, 7.1 out of 10. That's like fine. I think most people were more upset with the premise being like, why do we need a Willy Wonka? Oh, it's actually got like pretty good reviews, 82 and 91%. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm actually happy about that because I was looking at the trailer. People were being very cynical about it because, you know, to be fair, why do we need a Willy Wonka origin story? We don't really. But I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know, like the way it's directed, it just has that sort of like appeal to me, that sort of like whimsical feel, which absolutely goes hand in hand with Willy Wonka. Anyway, sorry, Val. The Willy Wonka experience in like in Edinburgh, I don't know. It was like pay £35 to enter or something like that. And it was just like terrible or something. Like the entire website, apparently, like all the adverts looked to be like AI generated, and if you like even look closer to it, a lot of the things were like misspelled, or there were like typos, or just like made no sense whatsoever. I didn't like look fully into everything because I was like, you know, I'm not that interested, I suppose, on the absolute drama behind it. But obviously it was a very disappointing thing in the end. You know, you enter, there was like a bouncy castle, I think. There were like a few decorations, and then they were giving out like Tesco lemonade and like one jelly bean or something to all the kids, which certainly not worth £35. And I don't know about what's going to happen to the people organising it. But I'm talking about this because I saw like a post, I think on Reddit, by the person who played, I didn't even know there was like live actors there, but there was a live actor who played Willy Wonka. There was a live actor who she played like an Oompa Loompa or something. She's apparently become a meme. I don't know. I guess I'm not on the right Twitter circles to see it. But I can't imagine what it'd be like, because I saw the TikTok he was talking. Well, I didn't see the entire TikTok. I saw part of the TikTok. So again, this is like fourth-hand information that you're getting from me right now. Well, actually, I guess technically it's like second-hand information, but you know, not good second-hand information. So half it. But I guess you need double the degrees of separation, so I guess it becomes fourth. I don't know. I didn't really think about the mathematical logic behind this much. Yes, so it was apparently crazy because like I assume he was just like some sort of budding actor. He was just like looking for a job or something, and he saw a posting. It was like, oh, you know, come and act and be like Willy Wonka and like our event thing, and he probably signed up being like, okay, sure, why not event? I don't know if he auditioned or anything, but apparently what he had to do was like he had like until the weekend, so like less than a week, to basically memorize 14 pages of like script, like a monologue or something by Willy Wonka. That's insane. 14 like continuous pages of monologue. Apparently he did it as well, but he also said that like the entire thing basically didn't make sense. And also there was like this mysterious, like the villain was now some mysterious person who lived in the walls or something, as I understand it. I don't understand it in the slightest, to be perfectly honest, but it's just like, it feels like, it feels like a skit from a sitcom or something. Like, I don't know, like, I don't watch Seinfeld, so maybe Friends would be the better comparison. Like, you watch Friends and it was like, this is just like some weird event that, or like, it's like, this episode is the one where they got scammed or something like that, and we just went to like this fake Willy Wonka experience. It doesn't feel real, I guess. Certainly it sort of reeks of someone who was just like, oh, AI can do everything, so, you know, got AI to do all the like marketing with all the visuals and that sort of thing, got AI to do all the script writing and stuff as well. But, you know, as good as AI is as both like a language processing model and as pretty good, I suppose, at replicating art things, it doesn't necessarily have much of a motivation behind it. It is just regurgitating stuff. Like, it's regurgitating stuff based on patterns, which is, one, I would say, visually, like, impressive, I suppose, as a technology, but two, you got to understand that's not, like, often how things are made. Certainly, while it can guess once upon a time, you know, pretty well as a phrase, you know, it sort of, writing goes kind of beyond the fact of using, like, the phrase once upon a time. It's kind of more like why would you use once upon a time here, etc, 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 right? The deliberate choices being made behind these things. So I don't know, it kind of feels like a stock, they kind of feel like stock events or something, stock photo equivalent of events or something. And obviously AI cannot plan an entire event for you. I don't think it can. I mean, maybe it could. But oh, a lost item. It's just bizarre, isn't it? I'm trying to think of a time I've got scammed as well, maybe. And something just ended up being like far more disappointing. Okay, this is Phoebe's. I always think this is one of the normal villages, but no, it's Phoebe's. And honestly, I don't understand why it's Phoebe's. Seeing as she doesn't really express much interest in, or I don't think she's expressed much interest in flowers. I guess it's meant to be the price sticker part, but still. Okay, I don't know where Phoebe is, but she must be out and about if she's not in her room. Actually, did we see her today? Or no, we saw Vivian today. I don't know, the days kind of blur together. But we do have to go find her at some point. We're going to do it now because otherwise it'll mess up our conversations with people. Oh, weeds. Oh, worm? Wait, was she down here? No, okay. There must have been a time I've got like completely scammed going into like an event thing. To be fair, the only like event exhibition sort of thing I remember going to, I think I've spoken about this multiple times, is a spy for a day. What are you wearing, Phoebe? Oh, it's a dress. Okay, it just, that dress matches like your feather colour so well. I thought you were literally like wearing like a bikini or something, and I was like, whoa, you know, you go. But it is also like March. It's like really cold. Wait, so what are you wearing? It's a princess dress. Later, boo. Yeah, I went for like a spy for a day thing. There's like a museum in London called the Science Museum where you can well, they often have very cool exhibitions. If you have like children or like teens or people who have a curious mindset whatsoever, I would very much go there. It's a really cool interactive museum, to be perfectly honest. And one of the exhibitions they had there was like a spy for a day thing where basically you could learn about spying techniques and technology and what have you. It was actually genuinely really, really cool. So that wasn't a scam. Well, I'm trying to think. DashCon? And I've not been to DashCon. The only cons I've been to are the MCM London Comic Con, which was pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's like entirely my sort of vibe, to be perfectly honest, or maybe it wasn't my vibe at the time. Maybe now it would be more my vibe. I think I was too like shy and introverted, I suppose, when I went. Too much of an awkward teenager to really sort of have fun. Well, I did have fun. Don't get me wrong. It was just like I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I thought I was nerdy, but I was like not geeky or nerdy enough to understand what I was like even engaging with. Played some cool games though. Played like a Rayman platform game, I think. You might be like, would you go back again? Yeah, of course. Sounds like honestly, now it sounds like a fun time. Oh, Amelia singing. I was like, what is that noise? I forgot what I was going to say about all this, to be perfectly honest. I actually don't remember what I was going to say anymore. Yeah, was there a moment I got scammed? I was thinking about this the other day, like, and then I actually did think of a thing where I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot I got like totally scammed about that sort of thing, but I don't remember what it was. It's hard to think of like a moment I've got scammed in the past. Not to say that it doesn't happen. I don't know why you're sitting over there, Lily. There feels like there's better places to sit, but I don't know. I guess you're in the shade of the house. You know, you had to be so concerned with being sunburnt or something, drying out your skin as a frog. Maybe, I don't know. Scam experience. It's almost certainly happened. I've almost certainly like overpaid, but I can't think of something off the top of my head. It's like really hard to just to be. Oh, you know what? I do remember something. This one was in China. It was really random now I think about it. But where were we? Maybe in like Chongqing or something? I don't remember. But it was basically like, there are places where it's basically like, oh, you can like catch a fish here. If you catch a fish, then you can eat it as a meal or something. Like catch your own meal, which is, you know, it probably doesn't actually work like that or something. But I remember one of them. I don't know why I wanted to do it so much, but it was basically like, hey, you know, there's like a fish pond here, I suppose, and if you catch a fish using this fishing rod, you can have it. And for some reason, I really wanted to do it, but I remember they didn't give you like anything. They gave you like a stick with a piece of rope tied to it. Like that's like doomed from the start, to be perfectly honest. They didn't even give you any bait or anything, so no fish is ever going to bite it. But I still sat there for some reason. You know, in my mind, it was probably like a couple of hours. It was probably only like 20 minutes or something. Just like sitting there waiting for like a fish to be caught. And then that's like obviously never happened, because what fish is going to bite a random piece of string in front of it? So that was a big old scam, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why I remember that. So it's like, for some reason, I remember that in third person. I don't remember that like as myself, which is strange. I think it's probably because I remember it more from photos and I remember it like in actuality. There's probably been other times I've been scammed. I can't really think of like a scam experience I've had. Like, I guess I kind of just sort of like erase those things on memory, being like, oh, that was an experience I didn't like. Well, get out of my head. Get out of my head. You know? Infamous words of Painwheel from Skullgirls. Anyone? Wait. Wow. I don't really know where I was going with this. Conversationally, I feel like I've hit dead end now. I'm trying to think of like, when have I been scammed? It's almost certainly happened. Maybe I'm too cautious. No, that's definitely not true. I mean, I am a reasonably cautious person, I suppose, when it comes to that sort of thing, and I don't really sign up for experiences of things in the first place. So I guess it's a combination of both being rather cautious and being not someone who engages in spontaneous, I suppose, activities all that often. I do feel sorry, I suppose, of course, for the people who paid money for that sort of thing. Like, I think you can take a very cynical viewpoint here and be like, oh, they, deserved it for not doing their due diligence and research and that sort of thing. But I think that's kind of targeting the wrong things. Shouldn't you be targeting the scammers in the first place, being like, they shouldn't be obviously allowed to operate these businesses or operations in the first place, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look it up. Let's look at more pictures of it. Glasgow Wonka, and it'll probably come up. Wait, I said Edinburgh earlier, didn't I? But somehow instinctively I knew it was Glasgow when I started typing. To their fairness, I mean, at least there were some decorations. Like, I thought it was literally just like a concrete warehouse or something. Like, I don't get this person in the walls thing. The actor claims to have played the unknown for Glasgow Wonka experience. With Oompa Loompa, of course. Not having a great day. Giving out these tiny shots of lemonade and jelly beans. I can't, yeah, that was what I was going to say. I can't imagine what it'd be like auditioning for this or something. And then turning up being like, oh, I'm going to play like Willy Wonka in like this grand old spectacle, this big event. And then being like, okay, you're going to be playing as the person in the walls and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You're like, I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't remember that. And then you just sort of like, okay, just go act creepy. And you like look at the place you're working in and it's like a concrete warehouse with like a few lollipop stuff here and there. So strange. I don't know. I feel like at that point, you might as well just like fully scam someone and not put on like a show or something. I don't know. Maybe there's some like legal liability tied up in that. I feel like I'd just be too embarrassed if I was like, I wanted to organise something and this is what ended up happening. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it, so maybe I shouldn't be lobbying criticism or my own thoughts about it too much. It's such a bizarre. It really does feel like it's from a sitcom, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here, and I think this conversation has run its course. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. There's a news article with Tom Nook dressed up as Willy Wonka here because of it. Hey, look, Tom Nook's not that much of a scam artist.